And welcome back. I met you a day after your wedding because Priyanka Chopra Jonas is back to work. Even if she's just got married the night before, she's working the next day. So, but what is it like being back in the hood and the flurry of promotions?
I've always loved promotions, you know that. I feel like when you work really hard on a product, on a movie, you want the world to know about it. And I take a lot of pride and joy in the work that I do because I'm very specific about the things that I pick up. So it's been great to meet all of you all over again. It's been a while since you and I have sat down, Puja, so
True.
this is good.
Exactly. It's a little less than a year because, we were soon after your wedding, as I said. But during the course of this film, you had your own little epiphany, right? The wedding, your wedding happened and the movie was happening together.
Well, my commitment to the film happened before my commitment to Nick. We met in January?
Yeah.
January is last year is when I committed to doing this movie, and I started dating Nick only in June. So my relationship happened during this film, my wedding happened during this film. And I think that's why Nick is also super invested in the movie because, you know, he saw the making of it, he was on set, he met everyone, he hung out with us. So, a little bit of an epiphany, I guess.
We painted her sky pink.
That
Absolutely.
It brought me luck.
Exactly. But also, you know, when the trailer came out, so someone told me, I cried when I saw the trailer. So I very grudgingly clicked. I said, let me see. And I laughed. You know, and the thing is, and soon after, I was very intrigued by Aisha Chaudhary's life. I heard her talk. But at the end of the day, you realize it's not so much about her, but it's about her parents, the couple's journey. So was it for each one of you a tough film to make and empowering on the other hand?
You should talk about your choice of how it happened.
Yeah, for me it was a clear-cut choice right away. When Aditi and Nirain approached me, I had never seen Aisha's talk. I didn't know about her. Amazing artist, inspiring person. For me as a filmmaker though, I was really drawn to their story. I thought that was the more unusual story. I think that would have been a terrific film. It should be made. But I wasn't interested as a filmmaker to explore the heroic teenager facing and laughing in the face of death. I was very fascinated by a couple who had met when they were only 16, and then these extraordinary things happened to them, and they were thrown into this situation where they had to battle for the lives of their children, and came out trumps, and just came up with this notion and this philosophy that, you know what, it doesn't matter, all of us, any of us could die, is what they told her. You know, it doesn't matter. The point is, how do we live life? What about every moment that we live? And that's inspiring, that's life affirming, that's entertaining and engaging, and that's the story I wanted to tell, as well as their love. That they just sent me a picture from Lisbon where they're romancing in Lisbon. Now they're 55.
It's so cute.
Yeah, you know, they're as in love and attached as at 55 as they were at 16. And I thought that's an unusual, quirky love story that I'd love to share with the world.
And something that we don't explore in cinema, in Indian cinema for sure, which is, you know, all our love stories doesn't matter what age the actors are, they're all before they get married, and they're all like, you know, young love stories. We never talk about what happens. Like, I mean, are we saying subliminally that love finishes and romance finishes after you get married and have kids? Which is not true. I mean, I guess somewhere to me that was really exciting, now especially, now that I've got married, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, romance, like, just to see Aditi and Nirain is like so inspiring. They're like holding hands and they're so cute even now, and that's so wonderful.
Was it tough for you? On the other hand, you were preparing a wedding, and here you're playing a lady who has been through so much in her relationship. So, I mean, how did you get into that character? You know?
Well, I guess after so many years of working, I know how to switch in and out of my characters. I believe that, I mean, yes, it was hard because the planning of the wedding was, we just had 2 months to do it, and all the logistics of all of that fell on me because Nick was in the US at that time. But when I started filming that Delhi schedule, which was about 25 days that we shot the schedule, Nick came down earlier. He came down about 20 days before the wedding and said that, you know, why don't you focus on your work and he'll handle all the logistics. So him and my mom really did all the heavy lifting. I just had to do a few approvals. So it took that pressure, he took that pressure off of me so that I could focus on the film.
Did you meet Aditi, the character you were playing, or?
Much to Shonali's disdain, I did.
Or you didn't want them to meet the characters?
I didn't feel it's necessary.
The Aditi and Nirain had met Shonali and Nilesh, who was the co-writer with Shonali, and he's also making a documentary which is incredible on the family. But I think Shonali didn't feel that it was important for us as actors because she didn't want the influence of it. Sorry to be speaking for you, but I guess I needed it. Not having experienced motherhood, I kind of needed to understand. And I derived a lot from not just Aditi, but mostly Shonali as well, of what that feels like, and empathizing or sort of deeply going into a deep place of what that must have felt like, having a child and losing one.
And Rohit, I mean, your career, I mean, you've basically been in films with very strong female protagonists,
Yeah.
Hichki Dears in the Year, now this. She's the strongest of the lot. I mean, she's basically a textbook on how you should lead your life, personal and professional. So what was it like working with her?
I mean, it was a dream. It was a dream. It was everything that an aspiring actor like myself could ask for, because it's, I mean, you hear people saying it so much, but I really mean it, that she's an institution within herself. It's amazing because, the amount of things I've learned during the course of filming this movie is incredible. I didn't think that I could learn so much even by going to a film school. It's been lovely. She's been really, really supportive of everything. In fact, there was a scene in London that we were supposed to shoot, which I was extremely nervous about. And she looked at me and she said, why are you so troubled? And I told her that I'm really nervous for that scene. And she gave me an advice, and it is an advice that probably everyone hears when they're nervous, but there was nothing different that she said, but it was the way she spoke to me. The confidence that she had in me really boosted my morale to go into that scene in a completely different perspective. And that changed a lot of things for me. From there onwards, my journey in this film really began, because that is when I found confidence in myself. I think I'm going to cherish it.
He's also learnt about promotions. I think what's incredible about Priyanka is that, when you do a film, it's not enough to just act in it. Like, cinema is out there for the public. If you're not going to put your whole heart and soul to really go out there, and he's learned so much in this last 1 week on the trail with her.
That's true. Oh my God.
I must tell you something. So when we used to write about Priyanka, it was like somebody who packs in 48 hours in a day. Then it became 72. Now how much is it? Please to tell me.
Now it's one entire year.
I know, in a day. I mean, honestly, all our stories began with Priyanka Chopra who packs in 48 hours in a day.
Listen, when you want the moon, you have to take a rocket to get there, right? So the point is, like, if you have high ambitions and big ambitions, you have to persevere and work towards it. No one's going to give it to you on a platter. I've learned that through my career, so I'm not afraid of hard work, for sure.
Surely aren't. And you really, I mean, you lead by example, but when you got this movie and decided to make it, was she your go-to person? And they say stars, they have this larger-than-life persona. So were you like Priyanka, or were two thoughts, or was it, no, I'll go with it?
So firstly, the star part of it is that it took me the whole year. I kept trying to get it to her and I could not. Like, to the gatekeepers, and they were like, yes, she is going to meet you next time. Yes, she's reading it next week, and I could not. So there, it was clearly where my place was in the industry and where I could not reach her. When Sid came on board, and Sid loved the script, and he said, who's your first choice? I said, for 9 months I've been pursuing her first choice. It's Priyanka. Can you gift me Priyanka? This is what I want.
Can you gift me Priyanka?
Yeah. Can you gift me Priyanka? I just want her to read the script. And then it's okay. Then, so I just want her to read the script. I just need that. And he did. He got it to her and she read it. And on my son Ishan's birthday, I got the message that she wanted to meet me. And then, right then I knew the film was blessed and I was blessed. And we both believe in the universe and the powers of the universe. And we really connected at a personal level. And because this film has gone over a year and so much has happened in her life, like, I've literally watched her from, dating somebody to marrying, and because I'm much older and I've been married. So I think we had wonderful offset relationships which were very deep and meaningful, which is not, that doesn't happen usually, when you're doing a set and you're just so rushed and busy. To have some of the kind of deep conversations we had. I have very close relationships with my actors. I must say that this is one of the deepest relationships I've had with her. And so it's been amazing because I was nervous.
I hadn't even seen Shonali's films.
She saw it yesterday.
I just saw
Margarita with the
Straw yesterday.
4 years after.
I hadn't seen any of her work, but I've worked with a lot of filmmakers for the first time, and a lot of first-time filmmakers, even though Shonali had made so many films. To me, it was just how well she knew her material, that I knew I'd be in safe hands.
And it took you 3 years because we'd actually thought that we had lost her to, LA and Hollywood. Took you 3 years to say yes to a Hindi film. And
No, actually it wasn't that. Quantico took me 11 months and a year to film. It was a 24 episode show which had me in almost every scene. So I had only 1 month left in a year, which is not enough to do a feature. That's why I couldn't do a feature film for 3 years. But as soon as it was done, the first thing, in fact, I looked for to do was in India, even over America. I just started doing my work in America after Sky is Pink got over.
And also, you're also the producer of the film, you're also acting in it. So, I mean, over the years, have your choices of the roles you want to do changed, or is it the same? It remains the same?
Well, I mean, the one thing that has changed is in the last few years, maybe in the last 5 years, I've reached a point where I have the ability to pick and choose the work that I want to do. Before that, it didn't exist like that. It depended on which guy wanted to work with me, right? As it usually, unfortunately, was. But I think after that, I feel privileged to be able to choose the material that I want to put my name to as a producer and as an actor, and that's a wonderful thing to have.
Awesome. And actually very true, because they say, when I met you 3 years ago, you said, oh, it's great, I've been seeing my name on the billboards, and when she stepped into uncharted territory. But now, I mean, we can say you're a global phenomenon, because anyone you meet from there, Priyanka Chopra, of course, in Hindi films, Priyanka Chopra. So, how do you define brand Priyanka?
I don't know. I don't plan so far ahead. I believe in the power of the excellence of today. I feel like if you're excellent every single day, your life is bound to be excellent. Man proposes, God disposes. You can't make plans and say, all right, well, this is where I want to be. So I have just worked really hard on every day. It wasn't the easiest of things to do, in my early 30s, to go into another country, start all over again, walk into rooms and introduce myself, say, I'm Priyanka Chopra, I'm an Indian actor, this is my show reel, this is the work that I want to do. But I think I had the humility to do that. I decided that, like I said, if you want the moon, you have to get onto a rocket ship and go up, right?
So, Rohit, what was the most challenging part for you with Priyanka? There's 2 strong ladies, and there were 3 ladies and 2 men. So, did you get bullied by them or no?
Oh my God, all the time.
What lies?
They're huge bullies, all of them.
What
And
lies?
it's true.
No.
Everyone bullied me. They're still bullying me. They bully me in the promotions, and
But
I'm
it's
sure.
so much fun to bully you because you get bullied.
See,
She'll
I
give you
didn't even
tips
have
on
to
how
answer.
to get
I didn't
bullied.
have to answer earlier. She was disagreeing. Now she's agreeing. So you know what the answer is.
No, I don't think we bullied him. I think Farhan and I, more than anything, Shonali to babies him completely.
Yeah. No, I like Shonali.
But Farhan and I must say, we had a fun time at Rohit's expense.
To say the least.
I'll admit it.
So, since, Aisha, the person, and Zaira is playing her, the book is My Little Epiphanies, which is that one epiphany that changed your life, your own epiphany.
From her book.
Not from a book, from generally in your life.
Oh.
What is an epiphany you had that changed your life? I can't, it's very hard to think that, but the first time I remember, it was a weird, I guess, an epiphany. When I came to Delhi after I won Miss World, I don't know if you remember, it was the Taj that hosted me.
Yes.
And that was the first time I saw my name in big letters. And I decided that my name will always be in big letters. When I drove in, it was like, the Taj welcomes Miss World 2000, Priyanka Chopra. And I was like, whoa. So I think that was my first epiphany, which sort of defined my career.
It's true. And now it's just Priyanka Chopra Jonas. She's there for all to see. What about you, both of you?
My biggest epiphany was on when my son Ishan, on the day of his funeral, I heard this sentence from him that, Mama, I didn't have to be on earth anymore. And that's a life transformative epiphany, because it made me understand that we are on this earth for however long our souls need to be on earth to learn certain lessons. And when you're done learning those lessons, you go. So you finish the marathon.
Very true. What about you?
I've not had an epiphany like this, which has changed my life, but I read something, which is from Aisha's book called My Little Epiphanies, that really, it struck a chord. It was something in the lines of, There are 1,000 fairy lights in my heart which are on at the moment, and I'll never let them fuse.
Awesome.
That moment, that sentence changed things for me, because that is how I felt when I got this film. That is how I'm feeling at the moment, and then this is how I want to feel for the rest of my life.
Of course. And you know, Priyanka, I was read something that Ayesha said, pick the highest mountain to climb and the dullest day to shine on. And it reminded me of you. I mean, honestly. And also the thing is, like, you are the timeless, eternal Desi girl. How much of a Desi boy have you turned your husband into?
Thanks.
Quite
I don't have
Desi.
to try.
Quite Desi.
I'm finding out myself.
She'll choose Italian food, he'll order Punjabi food.
It's really funny.
Basically born Desi.
He's basically a Punjabi. I feel like he has a big family. We live in a joint family. It always feels like Jitani, Devrani, you know, Saas, like Sasurji. It feels like.
Yeah, as somebody said, hum saath hain.
Basically, we are hum saath saath. Only we have come out from that. Who would have thought I'd have to go to America to find a Punjabi?
Typical Rajshri film. But will we see the two of you working together, jamming, I mean, music?
I don't know if it'll be music, but we are definitely collaborating together. When you put two creative people together, you can't help but not. We've already created 2-3 things, a TV show together. We're producing another TV show together, which will happen really soon, which is sort of based on our wedding, loosely. And it came from our wedding. In fact, it was on our honeymoon. We were sitting together and he just said that I feel like writing. And he started writing, and then he read a scene to me, and I was like, all right, you know what, if we do that, and suddenly we came out with a pilot. So it just kind of naturally happens. When we have free time, we discuss the things we want to do, the dreams that we have together. So you'll see us collaborating. I just don't think it'll be music. I don't have the audacity to sing in front of a musical prodigy like him.
But what's a day like in the Jonas household? Because we see all these...
You know, we are talking hum saath saath, but we live in different houses. we don't actually live in a joint family. If you think that doesn't really happen. We're always apart because we're doing... Our individual professional careers take us to many, many places. He's on tour, I'm on tour.
But very sweet pictures happen. Video call happens in the middle of promotion and suddenly you put yourself in also.
But that's important, I guess, when you have like a relationship like ours, which is like on different continents. The one rule that we definitely have is keeping each other informed of what we're doing, so that, you know, we both feel like we're with each other through our day. And I think that's important for any working relationship of two people.
And we see those lovely pictures. Everybody wants to know who's taking those pictures.
Staff in the hotel.
So you give us a lot of awe moments. Everybody's like, but who's taking these lovely candid pictures?
You know, you guys, when we live in hotels, there's room service, housekeeping, there's people around. It's not like we are alone cleaning our own bed at that point in a hotel, you know. So you can ask, hey, can you take a picture? जब dinner खाने जाते हैं, आप नहीं पूछते waiter से कि जरा हमारी photo ले लीजिए.
Natural इतना अच्छा लगता है.
Thanks.
But there's, okay, and before we wrap up, there's a question I always ask you before we wrap up. What next? Because once when I met an actor, then she became a singer, then she became a producer, then she was writing a book. Now what next?
Well, at the moment, I am going to start my next film, which is a Netflix movie, the English adaptation for The White Tiger, which shoots in Delhi actually, in November onwards. So that's something I'm really excited about. After Sky is Pink, it's going to be my next really immersive experience as an actor. Ramin Bareen, who's the director, is somebody I've really admired his work, and I'm excited to work under his tutelage. So that happens. Plus, I'm developing a bunch of movies for next year. One is my project with Mindy Kaling, which has just started writing, and then the project which is based on Maan and Sheila. That's also just started writing now. I'm excited about that. Then there are a couple of TV shows I'm doing here, and my Marathi film Pani, which will release soon, the one that won a national award. So I'm excited about that.
That's it, not much.
That's it, not much. She certainly packs in a decade in a day. Okay, thank you so much. And speaking of good times, your idea for good time, and how Desi at heart are you?
My idea of a good time is hanging out with the people that I love. I don't need something to do, like I don't need a thing. I just need to have people that I feel love me and I love, and that's my best time, really.
And how Desi at heart are you, Desi girl?
I mean, I'm Desi only. Abhi usse zyada kya Desi?
fully, fully.
Open my fridge in LA also, you'll see achar ka smell.
Okay, there is this. She's as this. He has this. खिचड़ी के चार यार.
ठीक से भी नहीं बोल सकते.
हाँ, so say ना यार.
खिचड़ी के हैं चार यार, दही पापड़ घी अचार.
This is
For
how
a
desi
Punjabi,
she is.
ghee.
So this is how desi she is.
Thank you. Idea for good time, both of you, before we wrap up.
For me, my favorite Bollywood hit songs and just dancing to them.
Awesome.
And right now, those are from my own film.
At the moment, my idea for good time is this. So that's that.
I'll hold you to that, huh? When you're tired at the end of the day and are like cross-eyed and say, peace, thag gaya, then I'll remind you your idea of a good time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us on record.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep doing what you do and keep shining on. And thank you so much. All the
Thank
very
you.
best.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so much. Actually, the world needs a pink sky and maybe a darker shade of pink. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely.